Last time out in Brazil.
Okay, be careful, the DRS is stuck open. You're going to have to come in so we can try to attempt to fix. Pit for repairs now. That looked bad, are you alright? Let me know you're okay. Caution, caution.
So coming into Qatar, we managed to pick up a P2 in Brazil where we had very bad quali pace for once, but really good race pace, which is not normal. Sorry about that, but for me it's normally the other way around. So coming into Qatar, I mean a place where we have both good race pace and quali pace, I have very high expectations. I am very much expecting to at least be on the podium at the bare minimum. And if not, something will go horribly wrong, okay? So, yeah, and it's a sprint weekend as well, which means we can make up loads and loads of points. And it's a big weekend in the championship as well. So, into sprint quali we go on our first lap. We already hold that purple first sector. And now coming through towards the final sector of the lap, this is where you have the flat out right, left. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think it's right, left, or it's just right, left. So, right. Yeah, 3 rights and a left. There we go. Right. Okay, a little bit wide there. Just about keeping it on there. I mean, sorry, I think there's some work being done next door. So I might have to delay this, but here we come now. Round the final corner. To finish off, hopefully, what is a good lap. Here we come up to the line, and it is a 120.8, which isn't bad. Puts us currently P3, and that was on medium. So let's see what we can do on our set of softs. So coming around the final corner, and even though we already had a purple first sector, we find even more time. That first sector for me is so good. And it is going to be pole position for the sprint race, but the car just feels weirdly heavy. I mean, in Grand Prix mode, without any upgrades, with my setup, the car feels nice, it feels balanced, it doesn't feel heavy. But with all these upgrades and all this straight line speed and all the other upgrades we've put on, the car actually feels more heavy, which is weird. We still get pole by 2.5 tenths, but it just feels weirdly heavy.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Franco Colapinto lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Tsunoda, Hamilton, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, and Leclerc, Russell, Opmeer, Stroll, and Esteban Ocon, Norris, Sainz, Oscar Piastri, and Fernando Alonso, Bortoletto, Doohan, Alex Albon, and Nico Hülkenberg, Gasly, Lawson, Behrman, and Isaac Hadji, and alongside me today.
So, as you probably expect, for the sprint race, the strategy is going to be quite simple. We're going to go on the mediums, and we're going to go to the end, and we're going to see what we can do. We need to hold on to this lead and try and win this sprint race, which is what I expect myself to do. Hopefully, we can build out a gap on lap 1, avoid them getting DRS, and just pull away into the sunset and win this sprint race by a few seconds. Otherwise, we've got a race on our hands, and we are going to have to defend like hell. We've got Verstappen and Tsunoda, the Red Bulls, finally showing up. in P2 and 3 with Hamilton and Leclerc, the all-strong Ferrari, coming up just behind. Not together, there is also Antonelli in the middle. So, let's see what we can do. There are a few guys on softs. I mean, I think it's silly to be on softs. I think it's a potential risk of either really bad tyre wear or a potential puncture maybe. I don't know for sure. But I did one lap and it was about 8% tyre wear. I mean, I know it'll be low for the AI, but you could be looking at about 60% wear for these guys by the end of this sprint race. But if we're going to win this sprint race and we're going to walk off into the sunset, the first thing we need to do is make sure we get a good start. And that is not something I've been doing on this game. So let's see if we can do it. 5 red lights for the Qatar sprint. A track we know and love. And it's lights down, away we go. And it's a pretty slow reaction. And we almost slide into Max Verstappen off the line. And now we're being absolutely swarmed by a Ferrari and a Red Bull. We brake late, go back around the outside of Verstappen. He accidentally slides across into us. So we're going to go up his inside into this corner, keeping it tight to the apex. We're going to try and potentially switch back him here. A small little minor switchback, but it still counts. And we use the ERS, get alongside Verstappen. And we should be able to squeeze him out here on this corner. And we do. And we retake the lead of the sprint. So the next time you see me, bang, lap 7. These guys were outside of my, well, we're pretty much just on the cusp of my DRS the whole time. But now they are getting close. The medium tyres are now better than the soft tyres, and now these guys are putting pressure on me. I'm saving the RS for the straight every time, but these guys with their slipstream, they're just getting near me. I mean, there we managed to squeeze out Leclerc, but he still doesn't lie down without a fight. And, I mean, luckily, he loses a lot of time there. And lap 9 on to lap 10, Leclerc's got one more chance to potentially overtake me into this first corner. Is he going to be able to do it? We're going to defend the inside. We come across. We're not going to come into his racing line this time. We've learned from our mistakes in Bahrain at the start of the season against Tsunoda. And we simply just outbrake Leclerc and maintain the lead of the sprint. So round the final corner we come. Up to the line. It is the emphatic win we expected. Not as emphatic as we expected, but it is a win nonetheless. I expected this win. We got this win from pole position. So now we need to do it again for the Grand Prix. Okay, that is what I expect around this track. 105 AI as well. I'm expecting a win. I'm expecting pole position. This is one of my best tracks for a reason. So let's go out there and prove it. But my teammate ended up getting P10. He's unlucky it was an actual Grand Prix. He did start P8 though, but he is low rated. So I imagine a high rated driver. So here we are into quali then. As I said, we need to get pole in quali in order to be able to run away and have a really good race. So let's see what we can. I mean, I would back myself as well to come through the pack at this circuit. So let's just see what happens. But I do expect us with our pace to get pole. So here we come, round the final corner. I mean, this isn't a very good lap. This was a really bad lap. This was a slower lap than what I did in sprint quali. So, yeah, we need to resurrect it and make it right here with this lap. So let's see what we can do. The first sector was good, but the rest of the lap wasn't great. So I don't expect to find time in the first sector, but I do in the rest of the lap. So, barreling towards turn 1, we find a tiny bit of time on entry, but lose it all again on exit, not able to get on the power. There are cars going side by side in front of us, which really isn't helpful. It looks like Antonelli, who is ahead of me on the grid, as well as Nico Hülkenberg. Nico Hülkenberg gets out of the way, but Antonelli parks himself on the apex and has absolutely ruined our quali session. And that is it. We're starting P3, and Antonelli, the guy just ahead of us, has meant by just parking it on an apex that we miss out on a potential pole.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Andrea Kimi Antonelli lines up on pole position, and Franco Colapinto completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Albon, Ospiastri, and Hamilton. Leclerc, Gasly, Stroll, and Max Verstappen. Tsunoda, Fernando Alonso, Jack Doohan, and Lawson. Hülkenberg, Ocon, Carlos Sainz, and Lando Norris. Opmeer, Behrman, Hadja, and alongside me here today in the
And he's luckily got himself on pole. So from taking me out, he's starting first on the grid. But he's got me next to him. So that's going to be a tall order for him to hold on to that win. or to hold on to the lead, and it's going to be a very simple medium to hard strategy. We're going for the fastest strategy we can. We've got one of the fastest cars. This is one of my favorite circuits, so it's time to just win. Just win. Like, just win. That's all I need to do. A lot of guys starting on softs again. But again, I think it's risky. But Russell right behind us on softs isn't ideal. He could even take the lead on this opening lap, which I wouldn't hate. But at the same time, obviously, you don't want it. I want to be the one taking the lead. I want to be the one ripping it from Antonelli and not anyone else. So, as we line up on the grid, this is our chance to get our second win as a team. The first win was also, I think, by Franco Colapinto in Spa. Let's see if he can make it to this season with a win here in Qatar. It's going to be an interesting one, that's for sure. We've got a bit of resentment for Antonelli, the man starting on pole ahead of us. Let's see if we can do anything about him into turn 1. It's 5 red lights for the Qatar Grand Prix, and it's lights out, and away we go. The initial first launch wasn't actually bad, but then the drive is just absolutely terrible. We jumped to that outside. There's a lot of space you can see here on this outside. We're going to brake later than the man on the soft tyres, George Russell, and we're going to keep ourselves in P2 for now, leaving him a bit of space on the outside. So now we can put all of our focus towards the other Mercedes driver, the man who robbed me of a potential pole position or even the chance of pole position in the qualifying, and that is Kimi Antonelli. But the car just feels really, really heavy. I know we're on high fuel and stuff, but the car feels really heavy. I mean, we have a lot of upgrades on this thing, but it still feels really heavy. But it's not affecting me that much, as besides the soft drivers, we are actually the only one able to keep up with Antonelli right now. And Mercedes are actually the quickest car on paper at the minute. So let's see what we can do. Lap 2, on to 3. We are already on the back of Kimi Antonelli. Let's see if we can maybe get a move done here into turn 1. We have a look, but we are not yet close enough. If anything, we use that DRS and a bit of ERS to stay ahead of George Russell and Hamilton on the softs, who are coming at us at a rate of knots, and they're still there. But we are also still there with Antonelli. Us four kind of starting to run away with this thing. Let's see if we can make a move. We fake to the inside. We're going to try go around the outside, and Antonelli backs out, and we are up into the lead. And we've made a mistake. So we get into the lead, make a stupid mistake, and immediately lose the lead. But we managed to keep P2. So on lap 4, we can go again. And this time, we are still quite far back. We just can't get the drive on that final corner that we need in order to get close enough. But this time, we're going to send it down the inside. It was a bit of a late manoeuvre from Antonelli. We make a bit of contact. And now we're going to try squeeze him out. Antonelli, he's hit into me and run to the wall. And we lose our front wing. And the safety car is deployed. But that has absolutely screwed us. We have no front wing. I mean, I know there's a safety car, so it's kind of a free stop, but we are going to have to make 2 more stops in this race still. We're going to be at the back of the grid on the same strategy as everyone else, pretty much. We're having to change our front wing. We're changing onto a set of hards, and it's dire. It really is dire. I actually can't believe it. Antonelli has put us in the wall, and he's screwed us over twice now. We'll have to review it afterwards to see if I'm actually right and it was actually his fault or if it was mine. But at this moment in time, I was very certain it was Antonelli's fault. So we'll have to wait and see later. But for now, we need to get our head back down. We're in P20. It's not great, but we're in with a chance. We're on fresh hards. We're going to have better tyres than everyone else. We're going to have better pace than everyone else. So let's just see what we can do. We can maybe make it to the end. 20 laps. I mean, it's going to be very, very hard and very, very risky. But we'll give it a go, and let's get back on with this race. And we're not going to be able to make a move into turn 1. They are absolutely draining their battery right now, as we are sat behind Isaac Kadjar. But hey-ho, there'll be plenty of other opportunities on this first lap with slow cars up ahead. Let's see what we can do. Isaac Kadjar, I mean, he's in a V-carb. He's obviously going to be very, very slow. So we need to just find the perfect opportunity, maybe a late braking zone or something like you would do on lap 1. But I mean, the car, even though we've changed our front wing and we're on fresh hards, just feels heavy. The car just feels heavy, and I don't know what it is. But I mean, the only reason we're actually quick right now is because we're on fresher rubber. But the car just feels heavy. It doesn't feel like a good race car, and I don't know why. It really is a mystery to me. But you know, we've still got Liam Lawson just ahead of us, and now we need to try and make a move on him. We're just absolutely launching it up the inside. We're on the fresher tyres, we'll have more grip. We'll just make any move we can to make up positions and trying to lose as little time as possible getting through these back markers, as we now look to Ollie Behrman, and we're going to go from the right to the left, and sail hopefully around the outside of Ollie, Bearman, and up into P17. I mean, it's little, but it's honest work right now, and it's a struggle, but we're doing it. So, yeah. There is now a big train of cars up ahead of us, and these are guys that are, I mean, as our teammate, makes life very difficult for us, but we get the move done. But there is a car with front wing damage up ahead that goes all the way up to P10. I mean, wow. What a dive bomb, by the way. We just absolutely launch it and get ahead of Jack doing. A few laps later, we're now setting a personal best lap time of the Grand Prix, a 1:24.4. So we are showing some decent pace on these tyres. Better pace than in the first stint even, as we now send it down the inside of Fernando Alonso, who sees better of it, sees me coming, and unlike Antonelli, when we squeeze him out on the outside, he doesn't send us into a wall. We make the exact same move with the exact same contact, but he doesn't swipe us into a wall. So, Kimmy, when we're having words...
Okay, and that's a red flag. Red flag. Keep the delta positive.
Oh.
And let's have you straight to the pit lane, please.
Red flag. We don't have another set of tyres we can go on to, do we? Because we don't have another set of hards. I'll tell you for a fact, guys, we did not have another set of hards. I was just hoping I'd go back onto the same set of hards, right? But let me tell you something, guys. There's 5 red lights. We actually have been gifted a chance at maybe the win now. But straight away off the line, I just felt something was wrong. And into the first corner, that was the same. I felt something was wrong. As we tried to go around the outside, I just can't. I'm at full turn, and the car isn't turning. Again, the car just isn't turning. Now, I'm not sure if you can see anything on that MFD, but the thing that is important is that we have fully fresh tyres. But then again, we may have, according to the game, fully fresh hard tyres. It feels like they're about 30 laps old, because we are so slow. We are just so slow right now. It's unbelievable. Now, I'm not sure if it's because we have some hidden damage. I'm not sure, or if I just couldn't see it. I checked the vehicle condition multiple times and it said systems were A-OK. I'm not sure if it's because of like weak components, but again, the maximum component was 50%. It wouldn't cause that much of a pace loss. And I'm just bemused. We're on fresh hards, which we didn't have before. So I think maybe it's glitched and we're on our old hards. But we were setting 1:24.4s before the red flag. And now we are a second slower, and all these guys are 2 seconds a lap quicker than me. And again, we set a 1:25.8, but the cars are setting 1:23s. And every single lap, the car just comes flying past. Every time. Every lap, the car will gain a second. The car behind me will gain a second, get onto the main straight, fly past me. There's nothing I can do. I know these are quick cars, but in the sprint, and look, I can't turn. There's something seriously wrong with this car, guys. I don't know what happened, but there was something seriously wrong with this car, and I can't put my finger on it. Even now, like, multiple days later, I've thought about it a few times. I don't know why. It must be hidden damage or a glitch in the tyres, but these tyres were dreadful. These must have been like a set of bloody inters. I mean, in the end, we're setting 1:26.1s, while other cars are setting 23.6s. Like, what is going on? We're 2.5 seconds slower. The only cars we are quicker than, and it is a saving grace or else we would get no points, is we're quicker than the Saubers. We are quicker than the Saubers. That's the only car we're quicker than right now. And I know they are the complete slowest car on the grid. But these quick guys that we were competing with in the sprint, in the first stint, in the second stint, we can't compete with. And to be fair, we are about to overtake a car here, an absolute miracle. And it's going to be Fernando Alonso that's the victim. But he's got an engine issue, and he was hardly slower than me. So, as we come through to the final, look who's behind us, Antonelli. We still finish ahead of Antonelli, but he almost got us. He would have been put in a wall, is all I'm going to tell you. If he got any nearer than that, he would have been in a wall. I do not care.
And the best of British and the best on the track. It's George Russell who wins. It's time to bring out the bubbly and spray it around. It's our podium celebrations. And taking his place on the top step of the podium, he gave it some hustle.
I don't even sit there to watch it, because at a track where I'm very good, and it is one of my best tracks, I'm left confused and annoyed, to be fair, because what on earth's happened in the race? I mean, Antonelli, I felt, swiped into me. I made the same move on Alonso, and he backed out, and it was all fine. But my laps were so much slower after that red flag on fresh hards like everyone else. I don't get it. I really don't get it, guys. I mean, it must just be a tyre glitch, and I didn't actually have fresh tyres. They had the performance of the old tyres, or it's got to be something like I had a hidden damage, or I had component wear, or it could just be anything, but that was so weird. So let's rewatch this incident. I mean, Antonelli makes, I would say a late move, but, you know, he doesn't, I don't know. It really is a weird one, right? Because if you look at this from his point of view, if we go back in time, and we look at this from his point of view, does he move before that 100-meter board? He makes a move at the 100-meter board, and then he makes a little jink. Now, that little jink made me move, which hindered my braking. It meant we made that initial contact. He keeps his line like Alonso did, but he doesn't back out, and he just seems to move into me a little bit. I think it's a racing incident. I think there's fault on my part 100%, but I also think there's fault on Antonelli's part. And in the end, we both finished P8 and 9 anyway. We both suffered from it, if it was both of our faults. But on the good side, Colapinto's accepting our contract, and all I'm going to tell you is, we will definitely, now that we've signed Hulkenberg, be driving as Colapinto next season, because he is very, very, very good, Hulkenberg, and we can leave him to his own devices, and hopefully he can score us really good points while we take control of Colapinto and make sure the other car is scoring very, very good points as well, rather than having a 67 rated driver scraping a P10 every now and again, or being in the top 10 sometimes and then dropping away immediately in a race. We've now got an experienced driver who can hopefully carry the team while I drive as Colapinto, a driver who I quite like. So, very good signs in that sense, but again, just a very, very confusing race, guys. Antonelli blocking me in quali, and then, you know, taking me out in the race somewhat, and then having mystery no pace when we were starting P2. I mean, we could have still won it. If we'd have had pace and tyres on that second one and not that weird issue, we would have had pace and been P2 starting, and we would have been behind Sonoda. We would probably have won that. And instead, I'm sat here going, I had mystery no pace, lost 6 positions, and couldn't turn my car. Had absolutely no downforce whatsoever. So, yeah, I mean, mystery. An absolute mystery, that race. But thank you for watching. Next time out for the finale, Abu Dhabi. We don't race it very often in F1, I don't. But I actually do quite like it this year. So we're going to be racing Abu Dhabi. There is a title to decide. There's 6 points in it between Norris and Leclerc. Let's see who will win it. While we probably sit in the middle of nowhere.